Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to Code Taf Management. And today I will discuss some important Java questions. Java interview questions, especially, and also give the answers or approach of the answers. Means how you give the answers of those Java questions in an Java interview. Okay, so especially Java interview questions and answers means Q&A. Okay, this session is specially like this. So first of all, I will discuss about the static blocks and initializers. Okay, so what is this? So basically, static blocks or static initializers are used to initialize any static fields, like in Java. And we declare the static blocks when we want to initialize some static fields. Okay, and in any class. So static blocks gets executed exactly once when the class is loaded. Static blocks are executed even before the constructors are executed. So these are the mainly static blocks. So specially static blocks, they are used, means static blocks or static initializers, anything we use to initialize static fields in Java, and we declare these static blocks when we want to initialize static fields in our class. So these are mainly executed exactly once. Okay, when a class is loaded. Okay, and what next thing? Static blocks are executed even before the constructors are executed. Okay, can be executed even before the constructor are executed. So our first question done. Like in this way, we can give the answers of the static blocks and initializers. Okay, cool. So next, what we will discuss how to call one constructor from the other constructor. Means with the same class, if we want to call one constructor from other, we use mainly using this method. Okay, using this method we can call one constructor from other in a same class. And number of means based on the number of parameters we pass appropriate, this method is called. So restrictions for using this method, what are the restrictions? What are the restrictions? Means this must be the first statement in the constructor. And what is the second one? Second one, especially, we cannot use two these methods in a constructor. Okay, cool. We cannot use two these methods in the constructor. This must be first statement in the constructors, and we cannot use two these methods in the constructor. And we can call one constructor from the other constructors using these methods only within the same class. Okay, cool. So now, what is method overriding? Means we will discuss about method overriding in Java. So our third question is like method overriding. So these are, so what are specially method overriding? So if we have methods with the same name, same signature, same return type in superclass and subclass, then we means the parent class and child class, then we say subclass method is overridden by superclass. So we can say subclass is, we can use this subclass method is overridden by superclass when when the same signature in superclass and subclass in the same way, like same signature means the same name, same signature, same return type in superclass and subclass. You can say as it is a parent class, okay, and you can say your subclass as child. Then we say this called means method writing, same signature in superclass and subclass. Okay, cool. So if we want same method with different behavior in superclass and subclass, then we go for the overriding. And when we call overridden method with the subclass reference, subclass method is called hiding the superclass method. So mainly when we use, if we want the same method with a different behavior in superclass and subclass, means method will be same, but behavior will be different. So 1 minute. So yeah. So basically, subclass method is overridden by superclass when the same signature means the same name, same signature, same return type in superclass means in the parent and subclass means in the child uh, is same. So then we can say it is overridden, or this is the method overriding. So if we want the same method with different behavior in superclass and subclass, then uh, we go for the overriding. So okay, next our next topic is about what is super, means here we have used the super class. So then what is super actually? So super, so super keyword basically variables and methods of super class can be overridden in subclass. So in case of overriding, if a subclass object call its own variables and methods, and then subclass cannot access the variables and methods of superclass because the overridden variables or methods mainly hides the methods and variables of superclass. Okay, you got it? Like means subclass cannot access the variables and methods of the superclass because overridden variables basically or methods hides the methods and variables of superclass. But still Java provides a way to access those superclass members even if its members are overridden. So super is used to access those superclass variables or methods, constructors. Okay. So basically, subclass cannot access the methods or variables of superclass. Okay. Because the overridden variables or methods hides the methods and variables of superclass. So we use super keyword to access those. Those means what? Means the superclasses, methods or variables or constructors. So we use the super keyword to access those. Okay. From so those means the variables or any kinds of methods of superclass. Okay. Yeah. So super can be used in two forms, like for calling superclass constructor, and second one is to call superclass variables and methods. So in the two way we can means in the two forms we can use super. Okay. First form is for calling superclass constructor, and second one is to call the superclass variables and methods. Cool. So now method overloading versus method overriding. So this is another one most important question. So what are the method overloading and method overriding? So basically, method overloading occurs with the same class, means within the same class. But method overriding occurs between two classes, means superclasses and subclasses. Okay. So method overloading occurs within same class, and method overriding occurs between two classes. Superclass and subclass. Then B, since it involves with mainly basically only one class means or only same class, so inheritance not involved, no inheritance. But since here method overriding occurs between the superclass and subclass, so there inheritance involved. Yes. Yeah. So then C means here like in case of overloading, return type need not to be the same. Okay. Return time different. No, same not mandatory. Okay. Need not be in case of here in overriding return type must be same. Cool. So then Here parameters must be different when we do overloading. Parameters different, must be okay. Parameters must be different. So next here, so overriding parameters must be same. So then in here like static polymorphism can be achieved using uh, method overloading. Static polymorphism. Okay, but here dynamic polymorphism can be achieved using dynamic polymorphism. Okay, next in overloading one method cannot hide the another. Method and hide. Here overriding hide occurs. So to fetch or to access the superclasses variables or methods, we have to use the super keyword. Okay. So again, let's discuss this method overloading and method overriding. So first of all, method overloading occurs within the same class. But here method overriding occurs between two classes like superclasses and subclass. Okay. So next we have discussed, since it involves within only one class or within the same class, so there no inheritance occurred. But in case of overriding, as subclass and superclass involved, so there also inheritance also involved. In case of overloading, return type need not to be the same, and in case of method overriding, return type must be same. In case of method overloading, parameters must be different, and in case of overriding, parameters must be same. In method overloading, static polymorphism can be achieved using method overloading, and here in the case of overriding, dynamic polymorphism can be achieved. In method overloading, okay, one method cannot hide another, but in case of method overriding, subclass method hides that of the superclass method, and to means to access the variables and methods of superclass from the subclass, we have to use the super keyword. Got it? Okay. So next we will discuss like abstract class and interface. So in case of interface contains only abstract methods. But in case of abstract class can contain the abstract methods and concrete methods also. Okay. In case of interface, only abstract methods will be there. But in case of abstract class, there will be abstract methods, concrete methods, or any kinds of means, or both can be means either or also possible, and both can be possible. In case of interface, access specifier for methods in interface must be public, but except private, we can have any access specifier for methods in abstract class. In case of variables, variables defined must be public, static, and final for interface. Okay, and in case of abstract class, except the private variable, can have any access specifiers. Means in case of abstract class, there will be no private access specifiers for the method, and also no private variables also. Rest are all acceptable for abstract class. In case of interface, also multiple inheritance in Java is implemented using the interface, and we cannot achieve multiple inheritance using abstract class. Okay, for means to achieve those multiple inheritance, okay, we always have to use the interface. Otherwise, we cannot use the multiple inheritance in Java. Okay, and to implement an interface we use implements keyword, and to implement an interface means we to implement an abstract class we use the abstract keyword. Means implements keyword also means we know that for the interface we use the implements keyword. Okay, and for the abstract class we use the abstract keyword. So these are the main differences, okay, which I have discussed. Okay. So next question can be why Java platform is independent. Platform independent. Why? So the most unique feature that the Java platform is independent, and in any programming language, source code is compiled into executable code, and this cannot be run across all platforms. So when JavaC compiles a Java program, it generates an executable file, which is called the, right, which is called the dot class. Dot class means dot class. Okay, this is known as dot class files. This is the executable one. Okay, so class file contains the bytecodes, and bytecodes are interpreted only by Java virtual machines. Since these Java virtual machines are made available across all platforms by Sun Microsystem, we can execute this bytecode in any platform. So bytecode generated in Windows environment can also be executed in Linux environment or Mac environment. So this makes the Java platform independent. Okay, so I am writing the flow. Like, how can you answer it? Like, why it is platform independent? So in any programming language, basically source code is compiled into executable. In any programming language, source code is compiled into executable code, and this cannot be run across all platforms. But in case of Java C, means in case of Java, when Java C compiles, Java C compiles a Java program, compiles what? Java program, right? So then it generates an executable file, which is known as the dot class file. Okay, so Java C compiles the Java program, which generates and means which generates here is spelled here, which generates an executable file, which is known as the dot class file. So then dot class files contains bytecodes, right? And bytecodes are interpreted only by Java virtual machines. Since these JVMs are made available across all platforms, all platforms. Okay, by Sun microsystem, we can execute this bytecode in any platform. And again, I am discussing this question. So the most unique feature of Java is platform independent. So in any programming language, when source code is compiled into executable code, and this cannot be run in any, means across all platforms. This cannot be run across all platforms. So when Java say compiles a Java program, it generates an executable file. And what the executable file it generates? It generates the dot class file. And the dot class file here, it contains the bytecodes, and bytecodes are interpreted by Java virtual machines, JVMs, right? And Java virtual machines are made available for all platforms by Sun Microsystems. So we can execute this bytecode in any platforms. And bytecode generated in Windows environment can also be executed in a Linux environment, right? So here we have discussed the method overloading versus method overriding, and here also we have discussed only the method overloading. So then here we will discuss the method overloading. Method overloading in Java. So basically a class having two or more methods with the same name but with the different arguments, then we say that those methods are overloaded. Okay, you can write down also a class having two or more methods. A class having two or more methods with same name but with different arguments, then we say that those methods are overloaded. And static polymorphism is achieved in Java using method overloading. Method overloading is used when we want the methods to perform the similar tasks but with different inputs or values. So when an overloaded methods is invoked, Java first checks the method name and the number of arguments, type of the arguments. Okay, so it checks based on the compiler's executions. Okay, so compiler decides which methods to call at compile time. So by using overloading, static polymorphism or static binding can be achieved in Java. And here, what is the important part? Return time return type is not part of method signature. So we have already discussed, like in case of the difference between the method loading and method overloading and method overriding, that in case of method overloading, there the we have discussed like return type need not to be same for the method overloading. Okay, and for the method overriding, return type must be the same. So return type is not part of this method signature. We may have methods with the different return types, but return type alone is not sufficient to call a method in Java. Clear? So a class having two or more methods with the same name, but with different arguments. Same name, but with different arguments. Then we say that those methods are method overloaded. Clear? Okay, cool. Now, what is the next question? Java versus C++. So basically, the first option means the first point is Java is platform independent. We have discussed that Java is platform independent, but C++ is platform dependent. And in case of Java, there are no pointers in Java, but there are pointers in C++. There is no operator overloading in Java, but In case of C++, we have the operator overloading. In case of Java, there is garbage collection. But in case of C++, there is no concept for the Java, means garbage collection. Here for Java, it supports the multi-threading. But in case of C++, it doesn't support multi-threading. In case of Java, there are no templates. But in case of C++, there are templates. Okay, there are no global variables in Java, but in case of C++, there are global variables. Clear? So Java is platform independent, C++ is platform dependent. There is no pointers in Java, there are pointers in C++. There are no operator overloading in Java, but in case of C++, we have the concept for the operator overloading. In case of Java, we have no operator overloading. In case of C++, we have the concept of operator overloading. In case of Java, there is garbage collection concept, but in case of C++, there is no garbage collection. Java supports the multi-threading, and in case of C++, it doesn't support the multi-threading. In case of Java, there is no templates, but in case of C++, there is templates. And in case of Java, there is no global variables, but in case of C++, we have the global variables. Okay. Next, we will discuss the JIT compiler. So JIT compilers means just-in-time compiler. So JIT compiler compiles the bytecode into executable code, and this is the part of JVM. And JIT cannot convert the complete Java program into the executable code. It only converts, means it only compiles the bytecode into executable code. It cannot convert the complete Java program into executable code. It converts as and when it is needed during the execution. Clear? Next, we will discuss the bytecode in Java. Here we have told like dot class file contains the bytecode, and bytecodes are interpreted by Java virtual machines, and Java virtual machines made available for all the platforms by Sun Microsystems. So we can execute these programs or this source code in any platforms. So this is the platform independent. So what is the bytecodes in Java? Now this we'll discuss. Bytecodes in Java. So basically, when a Java C compiler compiles a class, it basically generates the dot class file, and dot class file contains a set of bytecodes or set of instructions, and those instructions we call as bytecode. So bytecode is a machine independent language, and it contains set of instructions which are to be executed only by Java virtual machines. So this, why? Because Java virtual machines can understand those bytecodes. Okay, so Java C compiler compiles, means when the Java C compiler compiles a class, it generates the dot class file, and this dot class files contains a set of instructions which is called as the bytecode, and bytecode is machine independent language and contains the set of instructions which are to be executed only by Java virtual machines. Why by Java virtual machines? Because Java virtual machine can understand those bytecodes. Okay, now we will discuss between the this method and super method. So this is used to access one constructor from another. Here we have discussed within the same class, when we call one constructor from other constructor, we use mainly this method. But for to access the methods or variables of superclass, we use the super keyword. Okay, so while super is used to access those superclass constructor, this method we use one constructor from another constructor within the same class, and super method we use to access the superclass constructor. Either these or super exists, it must be the first statement in the constructor. Okay, so this is the part one, where we have discussed at about 12 this Java interview questions and also answers. So in the coming lectures or in the coming discussions, we will discuss more and more questions. So keep follow us, do like and share and subscribe. Thank you.